breeding the right kind of lawyers, yung mga lawyers na hindi lang gusto kumita, but lawyers who are committed to change yung ating lipunan. Lecture sa akin ng lola ko, no? Never give up, always try, no? And always have a goal and achieve it. And to me, that was the most, I poured more time into my teaching, into my law practice, rather than my being a parent. And I regret that. So that's why, to me, teaching was a challenge, because the challenge always was, how do you make it interesting for them? And if someone were to fail the course, of course, I consider that also as a failure as a teacher. It's kasi nga, a university is given academic freedom. You need to have freedom of thought, because we're trying to find solutions to our problems. And no one can claim a monopoly that they have the solution. So,
Si Atty. Harry Roque ay nakilala natin bilang isang presidential spokesperson na naglingkod sa administrasyon ni Pangulong Duterte. Pero alam nyo ba ng ating Ninong Harry ay isa ding guro? Tara, alamin natin kung paano siya nagsimula at sino-sino ang mga naging inspirasyon niya.
Ninong Harry, isa kayo sa pinakamagaling na lawyer sa bansa. Itong pagiging abogado ba ay dream job nyo o may nag-encourage sa inyo?
well, unang-una, salamat at sinabi mo isa ako sa pinakamagaling. No? Pero alam mo, itong pagiging abogado ko, parang wala naman ako naging option. Kasi nung bata ako, pinalaki ako na isang matandang dalaga na tiya. Na yung mga panahon na yon ay fiscal, state prosecutor, and she was a star state prosecutor. No? Lahat ng mga bigating kaso hawak niya. No? And ginagawa niya dati, hindi siya naniniwala sa security. Ang ginagawa niya, binibitbit niya ako bilang isang bata. So parang I was the only child with dispensation na matulog sa last row ng korte. So habang natutulog ako, naririnig ko direct and cross. So parang sa akin, it became second nature, no? And of course, kung magtatrabaho ka rin naman, sabi ko, ano pang trabaho ang gagawin ko kung hindi pag-aabuga siya? Kasi sa akin, yung pagpupunta ng korte, yung pag-aalaga ng kliyente, that's really what I want to do for the rest of my life, sabi ko.
Teacher ang both mother and lola ninyo. Ano mga disciplines and lessons na nakuha niyo sa kanila?
Well, yung lola ko kasi was really a public school teacher. And my mom started as a public school teacher, but later on, nag-pursue siya ng master's and PhD, kaya lumipat siya sa university, no? I think it's not so much the discipline na naman ako, kung hindi the konsepto na you have to dedicate yourselves to help mold the minds and the character of young people. Kaya naman ako, I really enjoyed my teaching dahil I knew I was contributing a lot to the cause of breeding the right kind of lawyers, yung mga lawyers na hindi lang gusto kumita, but lawyers who are committed to change yung ating lipunan.
Ano na naman po ang mga lessons from parents and grandparents na tinuturo at pinapasa niyo po sa mga anak ninyo?
Naku, madami, no? I was raised by my aunt and my grandparents kasi my mom went abroad as an OFW, no? Unang-una, ang palagi nilang sinasabi is, as Protestants kasi, no? You must always have a faith in the Lord, but you must do what must be done in your own life, no? Kumbaga, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa taong gawa. Yan yung unang-una talagang in-instill sa akin. Because importante, lalo-lalo doon sa lola ko, who was really, a lady of faith, no? Na trust God, but you are given the mandate by God to make your life what it is, no? So that's one. Number two, it's really the virtues or the importance of hard work and perseverance. I think yun yung pinaka-importante. Yun ang palagi lecture sa akin ng lola ko, no? Never give up, always try, no? And always have a goal and achieve it. And to me, that was the most important value given to me by my lola, kasi talaga naman sa mundo, nothing is ever given to you for free. You have to work for it. And ako, even as a child, that was emphasized. You are the master of your life, and yun nga, always persevere and always have faith in the Lord that you will achieve what it is that you want to achieve.
Sa pagiging asawa at tatay, ano naman po ang nakuha niyong learnings from this stage na pwede niyong may share sa aming mga inaanak?
Well, alam niyo mga may inaanak, lalong-lalo na sa pagiging ama, no? You need to recognize na yung mga inaanak mo, mga anak mo, will be their own person. Kasi syempre, as a parent, gusto mong you mold them into the creatures that you want them to be. Pero hindi. They will become their own person. And in the end, as a parent, you just love your children because they are your children. No matter who they become, no? So sa akin yun yung pinaka-importante, yung konsepto ng unconditional love. And part of unconditional love is you allow your children to be who they want to be.
Paano niyo po nababalance ang family and career?
Well, I have to say that probably I did not have the right balance when it mattered. My children are third year and second year college now, so they're on their own. Pero I have to admit, looking back, kasi ang dami kong trabaho noon. I was a full-time law practitioner in the law office, which didn't have fixed hours and very long hours. Tapos nag-full-time professor pa ako sa UP Law, na mostly ang classes ko gabi. So aalis ako, magang-maga, babalik na ako late. So I have to say, parang hindi ako naging balanse. Parang I poured more time into my teaching, into my law practice, rather than my being a parent. And I regret that. So sa mga inaanak ko ngayon, nako, minsan lang po magiging bata yung mga anak ninyo. Don't miss it, because I do regret that I missed a lot of their growing up years. Although I tried to be there as often as I could, no, knowing that I love my children very much. No, when both of them were born, I cried and I could not believe the joy that children brought. No, pero yun nga, you have to find a balance na although you want to give them as much as you could in terms of material things, yun din, yung priceless naman is being there when they're growing up. So, kaya nga ngayon, kinukulit ko yung mga anak ko, miski bata pa sila na magkaapo na. Kasi I want to make it up. I want to relive the experience. And this time around, because I'm hitting retirement soon, maybe I'll have the time. No? So, kaya pala, masarap maging lolo or lola kasi you have all the time already to devote to your grandchildren. Pero, my advice, no, mga inaanak, find the time. And, whatever it is, they're only young ones. So between accumulating wealth, which you can do at any time, and being there when they're in that super sweet moment, go for that moment.
Paano kayo bumawi sa kanila?
Well, hindi ko alam kung ako'y nakabawi. I just try to be there, and of course, they know that the reason why I was not there was because I wanted to give them everything that they could possibly have in life. No? And ngayon naman, I think we've gotten to the point that although we're living modest lives, whatever they want, I can give. So parang, I know it's not bawi as we know it, no? But ganon, I still try to send a message that, I did not want to do that. I did not want to have so many jobs. I did not want to have to pour so many hours, but I did it because of parang sense of insecurity that if I don't do it, they may not have enough. So I hope eventually they'll understand.
15 years po kayong naging professor. Ano yung pinaka-enjoyable part ng pagtuturo?
Kapag nare-reto ko yung mga estudyante ko. Pero that's what made my class lively, no? Pero ano man kasi yung pagtuturo, the challenge is, lalo na yung tinuturo ko, esoteric subject, international law, at saka constitutional law, wala masyadong practical application pagdating dun sa araw-araw buhay ng isang abogado. So the challenge always was how to make the subject matter interesting and motivate the students to study. So ako, I became really a non-conventional teacher. I explored different techniques. Pinakamute ko sila. No? I make them moot or argue as if they're not just reading a case, but they're arguing before the court the case that we were discussing so that they can see it from different angles. Ang normal way of teaching law is Socratic method, give me the facts, what was the ruling of the court, why did the court rule in that manner. Pero sila, I changed it. You're the lawyer, argue, this is the issue, how do you argue, and there's no right or wrong. Because in the end, right or wrong will also be decided by human beings, no? So argue it the best as you can, and then I let the class decide. So that's one way, no? I pioneered in using moot almost as a full-time method of learning. Another is, I taught an esoteric subject, which is transportation and public utilities. Ako, pira law yung aking tinuro na napaka-esoteric. Nag-role-playing kami.
Paano po
How to understand, ito yung batas, tapos yung actual situations on how the law could be applicable. Kasi sometimes it's not enough that you argue it in court, no? Kasi wala naman masyadong legal issues involved. So in order to understand an esoteric law such as the EPIRA law, pina-act out ko sa kanila. Okay? So, para mapadali yung proseso ng pag-iintindi. So that's why, to me, teaching was a challenge because the challenge always was, how do you make it interesting for them? And if someone were to fail the course, of course, I consider that also as a failure as a teacher. Kasi parang, oops, I did not motivate them enough. I'm just hoping now that I'm no longer teaching, and of course, many of my colleagues now want to cancel me out because I don't share the same political beliefs as they do, that I'm hoping that many of them have the same kind of dedication and commitment na you need to let the students learn. And that's your task. How do you make it interesting? How do you make it challenging for them?
Since sa law school and any other academic classroom po, no, may mga differing opinions. Paano nyo hinahandle yung mga ganun?
Wala. That's what the university is for. Kaya nga nalulungkot ako ngayon na dyan sa UP, kung saan ako nagturo at nag-aral buong buhay ko, parang wala silang tolerance for minority view. Alam naman natin sa buong lipunan, UP naman is a minority view. Sa boboto sa presidente, 21 million Marcos, pero 100% ng UP, Lenny. You know what I'm saying? They are a small majority, and a small minority in the total picture, but within the university, yung mga hindi pabor kay Lenny, kina-cancel out nila. That's not the essence of what the university is. Kasi nga, a university is given academic freedom. You need to have freedom of thought because we're trying to find solutions to our problems. And no one can claim a monopoly that they have the solution. So dapat talaga magkaroon ng malawak na paningin na walang tao, isang tao ang nagsasabi ng tama, and you have to accept all conflicting ideas because in the end, who knows the conflicting ideas is the solution to our problems.
Ano naman po ang pinakamasasakit na sa ulo nyo nung nagtuturo kayo?
May mga matitigas ng ulo talaga na alam mo yon yung parang matatalino sila. In fact, ang naging problema ko yung super talino. Yung mga matatalino na wala silang patience na to learn with others. Sa loob-loob ko, di magsarili ka, no? Yun ang pinakamahirap. At saka ang pangalawang pinakamahirap din, siyempre, yung mga ayaw talagang matuto. Kasi may mga tao naman talaga na kahit ganun pong i-motivate, siguro hindi talaga angkop sa kanila ang batas, no? At talagang may resistance. So yun yung pinakamahirap kasi frustrating. At some point, you want everyone to be as excited as, majority of the class, no? But at some point, you have to admit, meron talagang mga lone wolves, kumbaga, that you cannot influence anymore.
Ano naman po ang proudest moments or moment nyo as an educator?
Well, whenever my students graduate and pass the bar, because I know that I had some part in that, no? And I also devoted so much time to coaching our mood teams. We would spend, kaya nga naubusan ako ng oras sa pamilya, we would spend after my full-time work in the law office and after my full-time teaching, we would spend until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning rehearsing dito sa bahay ko. Kasi it was my compromise na at least makita ko man lang yung mga anak ko bago matulog, no? And we would be rehearsing. No? So whenever my mooters would win in international competitions, that was also a very proud moment for me.
As a lawyer, ano-ano ang mga cases na nag-test ng intelligence and patience nyo?
I love arguing before the Supreme Court. At ako naman talaga, dahil appearing in court was parang to me an everyday thing. Dahil nga, nung bata ako, palagi ako sumasama dun sa aking tiya, ginagawang security. The concept of arguing before 15 Supreme Court judges, all in black robe, nakaupo sa taas, and any one of them can ask you any question that you may or may not be able to answer, to me, that was the ultimate experience. And I argued almost 20 times in the Supreme Court. And to me, that was the ultimate challenge. And every lawyer should aspire not just to argue, but to prevail in oral arguments in the Supreme Court because that means you're absolutely making jurisprudence. Kaya nga ako, long after I stopped teaching because I became a congressman in 2016 and I don't think I can go back because they're attempting to cancel me out in UP. I have jurisprudence. So sasabihin ko dun sa mga ngit-ngit ng ngit-ngit sa akin, ano bang jurisprudence na nagawa nyo na? I've argued no less than 20 times in the Supreme Court. And even if you attempt to cancel me, students will read the jurisprudence that I produced. So, kaya nga, one of the songs I like is yung handog, kaya lang babaguhin ko lyrics. Ang iiwan ko, hindi awitin. Meron akong naiwan na jurisprudence. Nakaukit sa SCRA at sa Philippine Report.
Ayun. May mga kulang ba sa batas na nagli-lead sa injustices sa bansa?
Napakadami. Una-una, napakatagal ng proseso ng paglilitis. Yan sana isang nais kong gawin kung ako'y nanalo sa Senado. Alam ko kasi na ang practice of law naman ay primarily judicial function. Pero bilang policy maker, you can also impose fixed timelines. For instance, yung kaso ko na Maguindar Massacre, walang biktima na dapat mag-antay ng 10 taon bago magkaroon ng desisyon. At matapos ang desisyon, mahigit 2 taon na nakaapela pa. So pati yung danyos perwisyo na nakuha nila, hanggang ngayon, ni isang 5 duling, wala silang nakukuha. That's not acceptable. Tapos, pangalawa, ang alternatibo naman kasi para mapabilis, pwede naman na yung West na, pagkatapos na mag-agree tayo kung ano yung mga issues, yung West na ang magsasabi kung ano yung mga ebidensya kinakailangan, at ang West na ang hihingi sa mga partido. No? Pero hindi nga nangyayari yan dahil sa atin, yung abogado mismo ang nag-o-offer at yung abogado ang kinakailangang magpresenta sa korte, kaya napakabagal. So to me, that's the ultimate weakness, yung tagal, na hindi naman dapat ganun katagal.
Kung bibigyan kayo ng chance na maipasa instantly ang isang batas, ano yun at bakit?
Yun nga, I want a law na magsasabi na lahat ng kaso dapat matapos kung hindi sa 3 araw, sa 5 araw. Dapat mabilisan.
Based sa inyong experience, ano-ano may papayo nyo sa aming mga inaanak na either gustong maging teacher, lawyer, or public servant?
Well, talaga namang pinaka-honorableng hanap buhay ang pagtuturo, pagiging abogado, at ang paninilbihan sa gobyerno. Pero dapat malinaw kung ano ang ating pakay sa pagiging guro, sa pagiging abogado, sa pagiging public servant. Una-una, hindi ka magiging bilyonaryo kung gusto mo yung magturo o maging taga-gobyerno. No? Kinakailangan, nais mong tumulong sa iyong estudyante dahil ikaw ay isang ama at nais mo rin na yung ibang mga guro ay mag-devote ng same time and energy kung tuturuan nila yung kanilang mga anak at nais mo talagang magkaroon ng mas mabuting lipunan kung ikay maninilbihan sa gobyerno. Hindi kasi po pwede na 8 to 5 lang ang government service. Na kailangan naisin mo talaga na magbago para mas mabuti ang kabuhayan ng iyong mga kababayan kung gusto mo maglingkod sa gobyerno. Yun yung pagkakaiba. 4 taon lang ako na nanilbihan sa gobyerno, pero 15 taon na nagturo sa UP na isang pampublikong eskwelahan din. At ang dapat yung iniisip palagi, pera ng taong bayan ang susweldo sa iyo. Paano mo sila susuklian?
Ninong Harry, anong mas gusto mo? Being a lawyer o being a law professor?
Well, mas matagal ako naging abogado. Pero kasi yung law professor complemented my law practice. Kasi importante nga sa akin yung pagbubuo ng jurisprudence, yung mga desisyon na pinoprovoke mo. Kasi decisions of the Supreme Court form part of the laws of the land. No? So sa akin, they are complementary. Yung pagiging abogado ko is responsible kung bakit nais ko magturo kasi karamihan ng tinuturo ko yung mga decision din sa mga kaso na inargue ko sa Supreme Court.
Ninong Harry, anong mas bet mo? Being a diver o being a plantito?
Iba yung kaligayahan na nabibigay ng pagiging plantito, pagiging diver. Ngayon, makikita niyo yung sa bahay ko, puro halaman. Kalit-liit ang lupa ko dito, kaya nagtanim ako doon sa Benguet. No? Pero kasi they give you the same pleasure. It's a form of meditation na pag tinitignan mo yung mga halaman mo, pag nagtatanim ka ng halaman mo, nagdidilig, at pag ikaw ay nagda-dive at nakikita mo yung mga corals. I guess whether be it above water, underwater, parang you rejoice in the beauty of nature, and in so doing, you also give praise to the Lord that created this beautiful nature.
Ninong Harry, ano pong favorite books nyo na more than twice yung binasa?
I'd go for the classics eh. Yung mga Les Miserables, even before it became a hit no in Broadway, to me was one of the best books no. Yung mga The Little Prince eh talagang yan, ang daming beses ko na mga binabasa. Yung mga Diary of Anne Frank. Pero alam mo ko kasi, talagang I was a book junkie, lalo na when I was young. And my lola, the retired teacher, really would spend, pag pupunta kami sa National, talagang isang cart of books ang bibili namin. And hindi naman kami masyado mayaman noon, pero my lola did not scrimp on books. Kaya lang, hindi niya na censor. So lahat ng mga books na binabasa niya na maraming wild sex scenes, binabasa ko na yon at 11 years old. So I grew up medyo screwed because of that. And my lola could not really castigate me kasi sabi ko, lola, ba't mo binabasa kung hindi pala dapat basahin? Sabi na kasi matatanda na kami. Lola, ikaw nagsasabi eh. Di ba we're all human beings? Bakit meron pang matanda, meron pang bata? Ay nako, so I guess my lola regretted that she really encouraged that I should become a bookworm.
Ninong Harry, favorite command ni Ma'am Myla?
Ay nako, ang aking misis talaga namang always wag kakain ng matamis, wag kakain ng mataba, and of course I always defy. Kaya Exhibit A.
Marami din ba kayong natutunan mula sa ating Ninong Harry? Ano-ano mga key takeaways nyo sa mga naging payo niya sa atin? Sana samahan nyo ako muli sa pagbisita sa susunod na ninong o ninang natin. Ingat kayong palagi. Bye!